The purpose of today's video is to discuss 3 important marketing steps that you're going to need to take as an auto repair shop owner or manager. Make no mistake that your Google Map listings for each of your locations is of such vital importance. You need to have all of those things in place. You need to have all the settings optimized, and that's a great baseline, and those things are discussed in the other video. But now you need to tell Google that your map listing is very, very important. And 3 tips that I'm going to provide today are actually posted on our blog that we're going to go through. They're going to help you actually improve your Google Map listing, because Google is all of your marketing. When it comes to repair shop marketing, when it comes to local SEO, all of that is tied together. All of it is tied together, whether it's social media or whether it's your website or whether it's your Google listings, your Google profile listings, and other citations referencing you. It all needs to work together. And so the 3 tips that's kind of launch your successful marketing campaign after you've got your Google Map listing in place are right here to be discussed. Number 1, use social media. Google is looking to your social media accounts to see how relevant you are. And if you are more relevant in your community than other repair shop owners, then they will give you potentially better treatment and better priority. That is a part of their scoring factor in today's Google algorithms. And so using Facebook, posting updates and photos specifically about you, your team, and your shop, not specifically just generic, canned, how do I maintain my car updates. While education's good, I prefer it to be personalized specifically from you or with your voice. But more importantly, they come to your shop because they like you. And social media is actually leveraging those who already are using your shop, at least initially. Using is probably the wrong word, but kind of appealing to them and interacting with them. Again, they like you for a reason. They bring your car to you for a reason. Those reasons need to be echoed on your social media. And so when you actually post those things, then your social media followers actually get more engaged, and then that actually spreads. All right, so social media is relevant not just for helping you build a more loyal customer base, but also because Google is paying attention to how many people are paying attention to you on social media. Number 2, leverage your SEO, search engine optimization. And so local SEO is all about the fact that when people are close by you, they're finding you. And I'm hoping that if you're outside your shop and someone does auto repair near me, you're already coming up. That's very likely. I'm talking about if they're just 4 miles away or 2 miles away, or if you're in a lower population density, 8 or 10 miles away. Are you still at the top of the heap when they're searching? And if they're not, then one of the things that you can do to help yourself out is to make sure that there are certain aspects to your website that are done correctly, something that we refer to as title tags. I don't really spend a ton of time on tags, but titles of the pages are important. Content on the page is important. Making sure that it's not the same content as dozens of other repair shops, making sure that it's authentic to you, again, with your voice, with your information. And part of that is the website piece. And I've already mentioned that this actually supports your Google Business Profile. So if you haven't already claimed it, now's the time. And then to get that filled out correctly. And then the next part of that when it comes to local SEO is making sure that all the other places that are out there, Apple Maps, Yelp, RepairPal, and dozens of other places, are all referencing you specifically, correctly, and the same way, precisely. Number 3, I mentioned before that content is very important, and the idea of having a blog can be daunting. Find a way that works for you so that you're at least once a month publishing new content, again, that's authentic to you, not canned pieces that are being applied to dozens and dozens or hundreds of other websites. It needs to have your voice. It needs to feel like it's coming from you. And that's just very, very important. And if you can add pictures to that blog that, again, are authentic to your shop, then that will also go a long way. Google will pick these things up and actually pay attention, and they'll be more likely to serve your information up when people are doing local searches. The most common search phrase, auto repair near me. So I hope these 3 tips are helpful. I know that you already have a ton of different things. In fact, during this video, you probably got interrupted with a seemingly fire-like episode that needed to be handled. Whether it was a customer situation or trying to source parts or trying to deal with some team members, I get it. If you can't do it yourself, delegate it, because it needs to be done if you care about replacing the churn, the natural churn, the people buying cars and not thinking that they need your services, or moving out of the area, or making a switch because they just don't have that bond that we can help you create with your customers, that you can create with your customers. And so they just kind of switch to a different shop. There's dozens and dozens of different reasons. We all know that that 15% of your business is not going to be with you next year at minimum. So marketing's key just to replace that. And if you think, hey, I'm growing year in and year out, if you tracked back your specific customers, I bet you would find that some of those are actually have gone and you've just replaced with referrals and whatnot and word of mouth. And that's great. By the way, social media is the current word of mouth. And if the word of mouth is working currently for you, think about how much it can be working, how more effectively it can be working if you also leverage social media. All right, so those are my thoughts. I hope you find them helpful. By the way, I'm Brad from aashopmarketing.com, and on aashopmarketing.com, as the screen shows you, we have a full blog of regular new ideas and tips that you can leverage without any price tag attached to them for you to just to kind of explore yourself. And of course, I'm here as a resource. You can always reach out and ask questions. Let me know if you have any. I'll talk with you soon.